Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to this exciting and new service of the Global Creative Service, where we are going to be talking about how to secure a financial breakthrough. How to secure a financial breakthrough. I am streaming to you live from here in Dubai, where we are streaming from the top of the staircase here on the Global Creative Service. I hope you are ready to receive the word for tonight because it's going to be exciting. Let's do this. Allow me to introduce myself like I was introduced here in Dubai when I went for an interview. I went for an interview and I everyone I was the last one to get interviewed. So the first person went and came out. The second person went, did their interview. So me, I was on my Chromebook trying to get like some notes on my fingertips before the interview. So when I actually went in for the interview, they spoke my name. They said my name, and everyone on the panel in the interview felt very great. I'm talking about the interviewers. It was three guys. They all felt great just by mentioning my name, and then the interview began. Here we are excited. Everyone here, like we always stress, is going to be a king and a queen. But the fact that you are going to be a king and a queen doesn't make you have to look at kingdoms like Saudi Arabia and say, well, me, I was promised on the Global Creative Service that I'm going to be a king or a queen. We are saying that, unfortunately, for most of us, the kingdom that we are supposed to be kings and queens have not actually been created yet. The kingdoms we are supposed to be kings and have not been created yet. Our grandparents, we don't know what they were doing while others were creating kingdoms. Our grandparents unfortunately did not do that for us. So it is up to us to actually make sure that we create the kingdoms in which we are kings and queens. Kings and queens. And being a king is not a mystery. Like, what makes you be a king? Being a king is about collecting royalty from something that you own. When you actually do business in a kingdom like Saudi Arabia, you'll be asked to pay taxes. Like, the law requires you to pay taxes when you do business in Saudi Arabia because you are benefiting from the systems put in place by the king of Saudi Arabia. So you pay taxes to him because he is the royalty of Saudi Arabia. So now, when we are saying we are here to make kings and queens out of you guys, we are looking into you and saying that you have something inside you which is creativity. And your creativity is enough to create something that can actually make you a king or a queen by collecting royalty when what you have created is used by others. And this is not a myth, like we have people who have changed their lives by creating products or services that have actually been useful to others. And here we actually look into ways of making money that you cannot imagine so that you can actually start generating these ideas that can actually make you a king or a queen. So today, when we are talking about securing a financial breakthrough, we are going to start by looking at what is money, because without understanding what money is, it is difficult to secure a financial breakthrough. But when we are looking at aspects like this, it will require greatness. It will require greatness to secure a financial breakthrough. Greatness is required, and greatness is very easy. Greatness is very easy. Greatness actually has been demonstrated by a lot of people, with a special note going to Mr. Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was put in prison for more than 45 years, if it is not 45 exactly, in prison for trying to free South Africans from apartheid. Now, when you are the type of prison that Nelson Mandela was put in was an island, was an island where you could not escape without swimming across the ocean. So he had no access to the outside world. But Nelson Mandela, inside of the cell, inside of a prison cell, managed to free South Africa from apartheid from inside of a prison cell. We're talking about an island where the security and they are monitoring you. Like them, the people who were in charge knew that the person who is giving us trouble is in a prison that us are in control of. And if we go there to look inside the cell, we will see Nelson Mandela seated there. But he freed a country from inside the prison cell. Isn't that greatness? That is greatness when we look at it. Now, this gives us the idea that greatness has stages. Greatness has stages. I'll look at three important stages when we are looking at greatness. When you become great, you become an icon. The first stage of greatness is you become an icon. By becoming an icon, it means that you are distinguishable. You are separated from the rest. When you are great, you are separated from the rest. When we look at Alexandra, we know that Alexandra was the great. He was an icon of greatness. He was an icon of greatness. Alexander was an icon. Now, that is the first stage of greatness. When you become great, you become an icon. Like people know that there is this person, there is Nelson Mandela. When we are talking about freedom, Nelson Mandela is an icon of freedom. When we are talking about uh, athletics, we know that Usain Bolt is an icon for athletics. This is great, the first stage of greatness. Now, when you become an icon, that is not the end of greatness. When you become an icon, you actually move on to being a magnet. After you become an icon, you become a magnet. People know that there is Nelson Mandela, but who has freed South Africa, but people want to see for themselves. When people start coming to see for themselves, you become a magnet. A magnet is an icon who has gone to a stage where people now want to see for themselves. when we are looking at an icon, I would like to give an example of a king called Solomon. A king called Solomon was great in terms of wisdom. And when it comes to wisdom, we have records saying that the queen of Cyrene actually went, and queens, many kings and queens actually went to Solomon's city to see for themselves the wisdom of Solomon. And when they arrived, they actually agreed that, wow, we have witnessed wisdom indeed. So you become a magnet, a magnet. Here in Dubai, we actually have the Burj Khalifa, which is an icon. It is the tallest building in the world. And it is also a magnet because people come from all around the world to see for themselves what the Burj Khalifa is like. Like it is a magnet. But now that is only the second stage of greatness. When we are talking about the third stage of greatness, we are now talking about going beyond being a magnet to become a vote. When you become a vote, now you have become an icon and you have become a magnet, and now you are a vote. Resources are now, because a magnet can attract resources, but it cannot store them. Now, when you become a vote, you are now storing resources. You are now a vote of resources. When when people actually speak your name, uh, power is released. Power is released. Like sometimes you might find people who, when you get in trouble, you just say that I know such and such. There is a storage of energy that is in that name, that person's name, that made them went from being a magnet to being a vote, such that when their name is said, energy is transmitted in that environment. You become a vote and a storage of energy, a storage of energy. Now, these are stages of greatness. Stages of greatness. Now, when we are looking at Nelson Mandela one day, the car that was taking him from the hospital broke down in the highway. Nelson Mandela's car broke down in the highway, and he stood by the side of the road like this. The icon of freedom stood beside the road, trying to stop drivers so that they can carry him to where he can get help and get transport to go home. But some drivers did not stop. Like, not because they did not stop when they saw Nelson Mandela. Like South Africa, there's crime. So when you see someone looking like Nelson Mandela on the side of the road, you would doubt that it is Nelson Mandela. Some of them would actually look, is it really Madiba on the side of the road? So someone recorded Nelson Mandela on the side of the road and people passing by, and posted on social media that people did not stop to help Nelson Mandela. And it made people look very bad. It made people look very bad. There was Nelson Mandela was not just an icon, he was a vote. Just by not helping him, you became a very bad person. Because he was a vote of resources. He had gone beyond being an icon, a magnet, and he was now a vote of resources. When his name is said, energy was transmitted. Those are stages of greatness. So leaving Nelson Mandela on the side of the road without helping him would actually make you look very bad. Irregardless of how many people you saw on the side of the road, that is when you have become a vault of resources, not just an icon. So let's begin our discussion, which is securing a financial breakthrough. Now, to secure a financial breakthrough, like we stated, you have to be actually familiar with the concept of what money really is. So, money is a commodity, just like any other commodity. The fact that you can buy money, you can go to the bank and actually buy money. So, money is a commodity, just like any other commodity that is traded. Before money was there, people would actually trade without money. They would trade without money until money was devised so that people could exchange their goods using money. People could exchange their goods using money. So money is a commodity just like any other commodity. So now when we are talking about securing a financial breakthrough, the word finances, the word finances is bigger than money. Finances is bigger than money. It goes into all the resources required to perform a task. So when we are saying securing a financial breakthrough, we are not talking about money here. We are talking about securing the resources to actually perform a mammoth task. A mammoth task in this global creative service, we are focused about turning ordinary people like yourself into kings and queens through what? Through creativity. And without a financial breakthrough, without a financial breakthrough, you cannot actually build the kingdom that is going to make you a king or a queen. So you have to understand that the first aspect of finances is money. Money, which is a commodity, just like any other goods, because you can buy it. You can buy money, but money is a medium of exchange of goods. Now, when we are saying it is a commodity and you can buy it, what kind of goods are given for money? Money, to get money, you have to either have a product or a service. To have money, you have to either have a product or a service. So when you have a product, you deserve money. When you have a service, you deserve money. When you don't have these two, you do not deserve money. You don't deserve money if you don't have a product or a service that you are actually offering. So when we are talking about securing a financial breakthrough, uh, we are saying we have to have a product or a service that we are offering to actually finance the creation of the kingdom that we are trying to build to become kings and queens. I would like to give a case study of a company called Airbnb. When Airbnb started, they did not have money to actually finance their vision. Airbnb did not have money to finance their vision. They started selling cornflakes at conferences where people who would like their services were located. Like they were doing data collection while selling cornflakes, breakfast cereal, nothing special. Airbnb was selling it. And went to places like TED Talks where people who have traveled, because Airbnb, as you know, it's a business that allows you to actually rent a room for like 1 night or 2 nights, so and so. Like, so they were going to places where the people who have traveled for a short time were actually coming, like the TED Talks venues. They were going there and selling these people conflicts and having conversations to understand their customer. So they kind of got the money out of the way by exchanging conflicts. So conflicts were not even their product. Their product was affordable accommodation that is flexible for your needs. Like travelers who want to stay for 1 day can just book a room on Airbnb. But to, before they were profitable, that they were selling conflicts to get the money to build the services they were going to offer. So money, they understood that money is given in exchange for a product or a service. Money is given is in exchange for a product or a service. So for Airbnb, conflicts was their product. They were selling conflicts, and their service was the rentals. So they were selling conflicts to develop the rentals, and money was the way for out of the way for them. They could get money by offering this. So it is not rocket science. It is not rocket science. When you are wanting to build your kingdom, like we are saying, our grandparents. Me, my grandfather was a teacher, and he taught many ministers. He taught many ministers, but he did not leave me a kingdom or a place where I can earn any royalty anyway. No, no royalty is coming. When we look at Michael Jordan actually has deals with Nike that actually whenever an Air Jordan 1 or 1 to is now 1 to 12, 1 to whatever is sold, money is going to the Jordan family. Like Michael Jordan's children don't have to worry about money because they are royalty. They are royalty. When you go, they have the Jordan brand, Air Jordan brand, and they are royalty there. But as we have the opportunity on the global creative service to actually look into these matters and see how we can actually create a world where our grandchildren can actually retire before they are born. Before they are even born, we have to retire them. That's why we are here, and you are in the right place. We talked about how inside of you there is a seed of creativity. When we go back to the cavemen were more creative than we thought. And that is actually human nature to be creative. But now creativity has been suppressed by the images that we see every day. When you look at images that do not give you creativity as a survival instinct, but actually make you docile, your creativity will be there. It will be there, but it will be generating bad ideas. It will be generating ideas that cannot feed your family. Like that, that's it. You'll be creative, but just docile, misdirected, bad vision. That's it. When we go to the cavemen, inside of the cave, they kept a directory of the good inventions they had. When they found out there's fire, they went into the cave and drew the fire. They went into the cave and drew the spear. And when you looked at that, you had a clear direction of what what I'm going to do once I get out of here to feed my family. I'm going to find a spear and I'm going to kill this animal. But When you actually look at the creativity of today, you go on Instagram, what you actually see is a whole lot of footage that actually confuses your creativity. Like you are confused. Like, what should I do from here? What should I be doing? It makes you docile, unable to actually generate ideas that make money. So we are trying to correct that. We are trying to correct that. So let's look at securing financial uh, breakthrough. Securing a financial breakthrough. So when you get money out of the way of your financial breakthrough, when you get money out of the way of your financial breakthrough, you need to start looking at the mission, the vision, and the finish line. Like, you cannot have a vision without a finish line. You have to make sure you are getting a finished work. Once you achieve your vision, it's done. It's finished work. When we look at Airbnb, yes, they were selling cornflakes, but they had a mission. They had a mission to deliver accommodation and a vision to make the platform global and a finish line. There was a clear finish line where anyone can be able to get a place comfortably from any place they are. Now, when you are securing a financial breakthrough, yes, you have gotten money out of the way, but what are you trying to do with the money that you have? You have to have a mission. In our case, our mission on the as Stupid Orange, the host of the Global Creative Service, our mission is to help people fast track to making money from creativity. That is the mission. So when we are making money, we are selling t-shirts, we are selling hoodies, we have a fashion line. So the money we are making from the the business is is going towards the mission, which is helping people make money from creativity. And what are we doing uh, with the mission? We have a vision. The vision is to actually go around the world, the whole world. We are here in Dubai right now, but the vision is to go around the world and know what is actually survival instinct looking like in 2026. We are here in 2026. What is survival instinct? We want to take creativity back to where money is out of the question, and we are saying let's generate ideas that can feed our family. We are going into the streets here in Dubai and asking people, have you ever been broke in Dubai? Have you ever been broke in Dubai? Simple question, but it does one thing. It gets money out of the question and it gets creativity at a point where it actually helps someone to make money and feed their family. That's what we are doing. The videos are there on our social media. You can go on our social media if you have no idea how to make money in Dubai. You can go on our social media, watch a video, and boom, you see someone who did something, and you are like, wow, I like this idea. I can do it also. I can make money. That's what we are doing. And we are doing our mission. We're here in Dubai. We are here in Dubai. We are doing interviews. But are we going to end there? No, we have a vision. We have a vision that is global. So our money has a mission and a vision. So we are saying we're going to go global. So once we have finished the whole globe, we have reached the finish line. Once we have reached the whole globe with the message that creativity can actually make you money, and we are showing people proof from interviews right there in the street. People are telling us that me, I was broke. I do not even have any money, but I was creative. I did this. I did this. We go and and all around the world, and people see that, wow, this is a person just like me who actually managed to do something when they did not have money. This is actually something I can try. We are saying that is our finish line. It is finished work. So when you are securing a financial breakthrough, it is not about having $1 million in your bank account. $1 million in your bank account is a product. Like we said, money is a product because you can go and buy it. You can just buy money. Say, I want $1 million, please. I have gold. You get your $1 million. So it's just a product. But to secure a financial breakthrough, it requires you to have the resources to perform a finished work through achieving your mission, your vision, and reaching the finish line. So when you start making money, you have not gotten a financial breakthrough. You have broken even. When you are making money, you are breaking even. Because the purpose of a business is to make a profit. So when you have not made a loss, we can say you have broken even. And when you are now achieving milestones, you're on your mission, you're zeroing in on your vision. Now you are breaking through. Now you are breaking through. Now the finish line is when you have completed your work. You have a complete work, where we are saying that in our case we have reached the whole globe. We are starting in Dubai. Dubai is just the starting point. We have Abu Dhabi to go to. We have Sharjah to go to, Fujairah, Al Ain, Ajman. We have a lot of Emirates where survival instinct is actually very here in the UAE. And we are saying we're going to go there. And that will finish our work here in the UAE. And we are not stopping there. Like we are going to go global. So that is a financial breakthrough. That is what a financial breakthrough. Now money is out of the question. Resources are out of the question, but you are zeroing in on a mission and a finish line. A mission and a finish line where you can say this is a complete work. That is a financial breakthrough. So now, when you have all these things in place, it is very easy to actually go out of track. It is very easy to go out of track. That's why we are talking about securing. When we are talking about securing, we are saying that you should not lose your mark. You should not lose your mark. Now, security of a mission and a vision is lost through a lot of things. You have a lot of things that can get you off your mark. One of the things is time. Time can get you off your mark. You might not have enough time to secure your breakthrough. Time can get you off of your mark. When you are looking at time, there are a lot of things that can actually take your time to not secure your financial breakthrough. You might actually, even a job, you might have a job that is stopping you from achieving your mission and your vision and reaching your finish line. And like you might have a job that asks for 12 hours from your day. That is something that can actually stop you from achieving your finished work. That is that's securing your financial breakthrough. So time is something that can stop you. Time is the first thing that can stop you from securing your breakthrough. So, looking at time, you can actually see that my breakthrough is being stopped over there because of time. Time. We also have environment. And environment can actually stop you from having your breakthrough. When we are looking at the environment in the global creative service, we are looking at you and your surroundings. It might be raining that day. Say it is raining, and you cannot go to achieve your breakthrough. It is raining, and you cannot go. Uh, you cannot do something to achieve your mission for that day. That is a problem in the environment that can actually stop you from securing your breakthrough. Say the people at Airbnb were trying to sell cornflakes and then it was raining because they did not have a shop. They were selling to people outside before they entered the event halls or after they left. That's when people at Airbnb were actually selling cornflakes to make the money and get to understand their clients better. Say it was raining, they would actually uh, have a problem in sustaining their financial breakthrough. So the environment actually affects your breakthrough. I myself am here in Dubai. I'm actually very attentive at the environment in which uh, we are operating. The environment which we are operating, including the people around. The people around are actually very important. I actually do my research and I have actually noted what the people in the market are doing. Because what we are doing is we are trying to control the market. We are trying to take over. We are saying Dubai, we are taking over the market and getting in control. But that is not something that you actually do when you are ignorant and you do not have the data to back your claims. When you don't have the data to back your claims, it is difficult. So it is important to understand the environment you are operating in. The environment, it is very important for your financial breakthrough. Just looking around like I had an interview with a guy last week. He said that he did not have money, but he had a friend who had resources. He had a friend, we had a very exciting time. He was telling me about how he was a teacher and there was no money there. We had an exciting time with this guy. So he was telling me that he threw a party without any money. So his creativity for it to happen actually it does not require you to have everything. It does not require you to have everything, but that which is in your environment, it is actually enough. That which is in your environment, it is actually enough to create something exciting. Something exciting. When we look at people like Thomas Edison operated solely from what he had in his laboratory. What he had in his laboratory was like, okay, I'm going to, like, he is famous for saying, I've tried 1,000 ways that won't work. Like, I did not say that right. He said that I have not failed 1,000 times, but I've found 1,000 ways that will not work. Like he had junk in his backyard and he was making things out of it like a madman. And we have the light bulb because of him. The whole electrical field was actually went into people's houses because the light bulb was improved by Thomas Edison. Just from a pair of junk he had, just playing around. Like there's no shop where you go and say that I want to fail 1,000 times. Can I have the kit? There's no kit for that. It's something that you actually have to you have to be curious about doing things. So let's get back to our environment. So in the environment can actually stop you from you can get finances, but you will not break through as long as the environment is not understood. The environment uh, is part of the resources that you actually have. When we look at Tesla understood their environment before they went into the market with their electric vehicles. They actually looked at where cars are. Where cars are where the people who are buying cars are. Like someone who has a car actually has a higher probability of buying another car than someone who doesn't have. So they were like, where are the cars? Okay, cars are piling up at the fuel station. So let's put our charging ports there so that everyone who has a car actually sees our charging ports as a promotion from their current car. So when you are looking at the Tesla charging port at the gas station, you are like, wow, I need to upgrade and go to the Tesla charging port. So sales are only natural in that place. When you are aware of the environment you are operating in, it is only natural for people to actually move to the electric vehicle charging slot. That's the environment they were operating in. The environment they were operating in. So when we are saying that you have a seed of creativity inside of you, and you have the power to actually create a world where you can be a king and a queen, the environment is actually a door through which you can achieve that, but it can also stop you from securing that breakthrough. The environment can stop you from that breakthrough. We talked about if it was raining, like something you cannot control. Rain is something you cannot control, but it can just rain. It can just rain and business will not move that day. And your financial breakthrough would be stalled by just that. So the environment is very important to consider when we are looking at a financial breakthrough. The environment in which you are operating is very important. Uh, Now we look at another factor, which is the people. The people are actually the market who, who is going to buy your products. Like whatever you are making, it is actually being made for the people. You are making it for the people. Uh, if the people are not aware of what you are selling, you will not get any sales. If people are not aware of what you are selling, you will not get any sales. Like here, we make it very clear, very simple and clear that we have a clothing brand. We are selling t-shirts and hoodies to support creativity. Simple. Like uh, those who don't know it, they cannot support us. They cannot support us, and they will go ahead and buy the Gucci and the Chanel and the Nikkei, whatever they buy. Uh, because we would not have communicated to the market, what we are about, but what we are about. So whenever you're trying to make your kingdom, we're talking about making kingdom. Say Michael Jordan was not famous from his very inspiring NBA career. Like Michael Jordan had so many MVPs, so many MVPs. Like he he was lucky because when he started getting MVPs, his major competitor, who was Magic Johnson actually got AIDS. He got HIV and AIDS and stopped his career. So Michael Jordan had a streak of MVPs. And after that, Jordan, with his brand, he actually went, when he was at his peak, he actually got a deal with Nike. A deal, like the deal Michael Jordan had was actually the biggest deal Nike has ever had. Like it's the biggest deal Nike has ever had. And he became royalty because the people were interested in knowing what the MVP is up to. Like he was the MVP. When you're talking about basketball, he was the guy like who was in charge. And when he got the deal with Nike, everyone was like, "What is the Air Jordan? What is the Air Jordan?" And the market and we are saying the people are the market. The market is not some mystery, it is the people. So the people knew that Nike are making a shoe with Michael Jordan, and we want to buy it. That is it. Nike is making a shoe with Michael Jordan, and we want to buy it. That's it. And the shoe just started selling. That's it. The people are the market. So, what are we saying about becoming kings and queens? We are saying that you can become a king when you let the people know exactly what you are doing and why you are doing it. We talked about the the purpose, the mission, the purpose, and the finish line for securing a financial breakthrough. So now we are saying the people are important in securing a financial breakthrough where they are the market. They are the market. If the people do not know what you are doing, they will not buy. They will not buy. And people do not buy things that make them sad. People do not buy things that make them sad. There is one movie. There is one movie that was released a few years ago by a guy called. He's from Compton. He was a rapper. He was in Easy East rap band. Okay, I'm forgetting his name. But he's called Ice Cube. I'm talking about Ice Cube. Yes. So Ice Cube released a movie. He released a movie that was called like the marketing that they did on the movie. They were saying this is the worst movie I've ever watched. I regret watching this movie. Like everyone who was watching the movie were like, "Wow, guys, don't watch this movie. It's very terrible." But people who are the market actually don't buy things that make them happy. They buy things that make them happy, not sad. But when we are looking at the movie that Ice Cube released, it was a low budget movie, and all the reviews that he used to market it were bad reviews. Why did people watch it? Why did people watch a low budget movie that other people want them not to watch? It is because people actually buy to solve actually put money at things that solve problems for them, things that solve problems for them. So when we're looking at the psychology behind this marketing, we are saying that people were watching because they knew that they're not going to waste their time in watching it and then decide whether it is a good movie. You are going into the movie expecting it to be bad anyway. You're going in expecting to have a terrible time. But turns out when you watch the movie, like it was designed to be terrible, but it was so exciting throughout the whole movie. Ice Cube acted a 2-hour movie where he was seated behind a computer. 2 hours seated behind the computer. So that was the idea of the movie, but it was action packed. It was not boring anyway. But the fact that 2 hours the main actor was seated behind the computer just made it fit to be called this movie is so boring, don't watch it, it's nerd stuff. So when you solve a problem for someone, like Ice Cube told his audience that I'm going to be seated in a chair for 2 hours, don't watch this movie please. And people were like, wow, that makes life easier for us, I'm going to watch it. But I'm going to expect it to be boring. But they watched it in that sense and actually got what? Amused, like, wow, okay, you were seated in the chair for 2 hours, but it wasn't that bad. So when you solve a problem for someone, it makes them happy, right? Just being honest that this is a terrible movie, guys. It's low budget. I'm seated at a desk. I'm not going to be doing anything. Don't watch. It's but the movie is out. Like you solved a problem for people. And when you solve problem for people, we are saying people are the market. People buy when you solve problems for them and you make them happy. So by making people happy, you actually capture the market. And the when we are saying you want to create your kingdom, you can't create a kingdom when you are selling something that makes people actually sad. That makes people sad. It won't happen that way. Michael Jordan, when people wear Jordans, like when people wear Jordans, they feel like they are like he had more than five MVPs. Michael Jordan had more than five MVPs. If you watch basketball, uh, when someone gets an MVP, that's like the biggest honor ever. Kobe Bryant, the late, actually had MVPs, but the Kobe's, the shoes that are called Kobe's, are actually more expensive than Jordan's because Kobe had MVPs just like Jordan. You are seeing the dynamics. So these shoes, when someone wears Kobe Bryant's shoes, uh, they are happy. Like there's an emotion to it. There's an emotion to it. So the market wants products that makes them happy. Whatever it is that you're going to actually make, it has to make people happy. It has to make people happy. Um, right now, we are actually trying to create an ecosystem that allows people to actually come to our platforms and learn what is creativity outside of all the noise that is happening right now. Creativity outside of all the noise is something very beautiful, something very beautiful, and we have actually figured that out, and we are trying to deliver it in a way that is different. When you actually look at our platforms, all the videos that I am shooting, they look like they were just shot from a camera, like an ordinary camera. Like you just take out your camera from your phone and boom, you're shooting. We could have taken like a professional camera or something like that to make it look 4K or something like that. But the message we are trying to communicate is that creativity is something that is inside of you, and to bring that out doesn't require anything special. You already have that. You don't need a camera from Kodak to actually bring that out. It is something that is inside of you. So all our videos, when you look at them, they're just like you can shoot the video from your iPhone. Simple like that. Bam, you're shooting. I actually have a person I admire who is called Afnan Khalifa from here in Dubai. She actually teaches people how to make money. She teaches me like she has students. She's like teaching people how to make millions, like millions, just like that. When you look at her content, it's so well made. Like you, you'll be like, wow. Like her media team are very good. Her media team are very good. Like they make content that looks so professional. But when you come to our platform, it's so different. It will be like, uh, is that a selfie or what? So that's a message that is different. That is a message that like this this movement we are saying it is for anyone to actually be a king or a queen, and we are reducing the bar. We are reducing the bar to entry, the barrier to entry. We are reducing it to its basic level, so that you can see that me also I can do this. We are saying creativity is inside you. You also can actually be creative and create the world that you actually can start earning royalty. Like when royalty starts coming, do you know that Michael Jordan, just by owning his brand, Nike brings hundreds of millions to his house every year. Hundreds of millions just by owning your name. Your name. We're not talking about some. We are saying just because he's called Michael Jordan, just because he's called Michael Jordan and it's his name, Nike is bringing millions to his house. Whether or not he does anything, like he doesn't have to do anything. That is what we are talking about. We're talking about royalty. Royalty, creating valuable things. Now we are discussing these ideas every time. Last time I always liked the idea of the car without an engine. A car without an engine, we looked at the engineering, we looked at all the specifications that could go into it. And when you watch that video, you live without a doubt that this is possible. And just me, I can make this also. So these ideas are meant to actually get you thinking like, wow. So do you know that the person who actually sees that, like when you watch the video, when you watch the video, you will see that there are actually gaps. There are actually gaps where I can actually go in and start making engines, nuclear engines. Like no one is making nuclear engines. Even aircraft that needs to go fast, they use jet fuel, not nuclear. So these are things that are like there are a lot of industries that are still vacant for people who really need to be kings and queens to go after and say, okay, me, I'm making nuclear engines. It's an industry that is no one is going after it. No one is going after. So here we are discussing these ways of making money that you cannot imagine, so that you can have a better outlook of life. You can change your own life. Me myself, I'm still changing my life. I'm still changing my life. We're saying the Dubai market we have taken over, we're in control. Like I was at the Dubai Hills Mall, Dubai Hills Mall the other day. So I was walking around and I realized something. There are shops that sell gold necklaces and diamonds and everything. And I was like, me, I deserve these nice things. I am the leader of the creative revival here in Dubai, and I'm going to get these nice things. So I entered the shop and I was like, I want that gold necklace. And the guy said it was 10,000 dirhams. That's like 3,000 USD, 3,000 US dollars. And 3,000 US dollars is like it's less than the amount that most rappers that I know buy their necklaces for. Like the people who go to Icebox, they buy their necklaces for 50,000, 100,000. These are custom, but this was just on the shelf. A gold necklace with diamond. So I asked the shopkeeper again. Like I really wanted the necklace, but 3,000 I was not going to pay 3,000 for the necklace. So I asked him again. I said, "How much is this necklace?" He said, 10,000. He said the same price again, 10,000 dirhams. Yeah, it's dirhams. So I was curious, like, okay, what can I do to be your ideal customer? What can I do to be your ideal customer? Because obviously, I was not willing to pay 3,000 for the necklace. I wanted it, but I was not willing to pay 3,000. So I wanted to know what I should look like to be his ideal customer. Maybe I was not his ideal customer. He said that for you to buy these 10,000 dirham necklaces, my brother, we need to own a business. We need to own a business. I was like, I'm the leader of the creativity revival here in Dubai, and this guy is telling me to own a business. Me, I own a movement. I started a movement. Which is better, a movement or a business? Because businesses are there for profit, but movements actually move markets. We are moving markets. So I was like, this guy does not know who I am. So I'm going back for that necklace, but I'm going to get them two of them, two of them. So what are we saying, guys? We are saying that you can actually be a king and a queen when you actually understand that a financial breakthrough is not capped by one thing. Do not tie your financial breakthrough to one thing like money, like your environment, like your vision, your mission, or your finish line. You should understand these elements and you should actually manage them to attain your financial breakthrough. A financial breakthrough is something that is attainable. When I go to that shop in Mall of the Emirates, like it's people walk in and buy. Like these necklaces that are there, they are made for people. Like if people were not buying, the shop would be out of business. Like people are buying. And if the shopkeeper is saying that his ideal customer should own a business, it means that people are owning businesses and they are making money enough actually to actually buy from to buy valuable assets like gold and necklaces and diamonds. Do you know that these people are actually doing it right now as we speak? And we all here on the Global Creative Service, we are saying that it is time for you to step up and say that my grandfather did not leave me any royalty. I have nowhere to go and collect money because of my name, but it has to stop. It has to stop, and it is going to stop after I catch an idea on the Global Creative Service and make something out of it from my creativity. Uh, that is what we are saying, and we are actually going into the streets. We are going into the streets, and we are looking for creativity at its basic element outside of the vicinity of money. We are saying, when you were broke, what did you do? And we have these stories on our social media. We have these stories on our social media. Let's support creativity. Links are in the description to go to our store. We have to buy, so that in the future, creativity will actually lead. If we don't support creativity, something else will lead. Something else will lead. I always talk about Childish Gambino, an American artist who likes singing without his shirt, and he likes dancing a lot. If we don't support the right kind of creativity, we might have Childish Gambino on our feed tomorrow dancing. And then after we watch Childish Gambino, we wonder why our bank account is on zero. We wonder, like, why do I not have any money? Because Childish Gambino did not tell you how to get it. Childish, you did not see that he was dancing without his shirt. He doesn't even know how to, like, present himself well. How can a 40-year-old call himself childish? How can a 40-year-old dance without his shirt on, calling himself childish? Like this, these are things that should be concerning. Like, what kind of creativity is this? It's actually hurting you. Your account is on zero. So let's fix this by supporting creativity today. Go on the website, watch the videos, learn something good, and buy, so that you know what's leading, and it should be creativity. Uh, I hope you had an exciting service. Our website is also open for sharing stories. We have a section where we say share a story where when you were broke and you did something that is creative. Now, the kind of creativity we are looking at is only that which generates money. If you are creative and you had something exciting like naughty, you did something naughty and funny, but did not generate money, we are not putting those stories out there. We are not putting those stories out there because that is not the creativity we are bringing out. We are saying there are families to feed, guys. There are families that need to be fed. So let's generate ideas that make money. Okay, so share your stories, but make sure you make some money in those stories. You also have to include humor so that we feature you on our channel and be a hall of famer. Join our hall of fame. That concludes this service. I hope you had an exciting time as we looked at how to secure a financial breakthrough in 2026. And we said that money is just a product because you can actually go and buy it. So if financial breakthrough is bigger than money, there are factors that you have to look at and actually say that no, I'm looking into these factors and I will not let them stop me from achieving my financial breakthrough. I hope you had an exciting time. See you next week. This is also a teaser We are now doing teasers before we actually release the cure for HIV series. It's now two teasers. Uh, the cure for HIV, we are going to release it, and we are going to have a few teasers before we get to that point. Before we get to that point, we are going to have a few teasers. So our next service will be talking about making uh, 10 mountains. Making 10 mountains. I hope you are excited as we discuss how you can make 10 mountains. These are ideas to make money that you can never imagine. Let's meet right here next week.